The visions. Over time, I've been able to distinguish several kinds of visions, those directly concerning painting and those that do not. And in the latter, there are the ordinary that I frequently encounter, which are serene, the explosives, like a luminous orgasm, and the very large, those on the other side of the wall of life. I have described them in the full version of the book, and I even represented them in the illuminated and illustrated version as well as many black and white or color photos. The energy. November 10, 1982. The idea comes to me not to sit cross-legged to meditate, but on the arm of my sofa, Egyptian style, hands resting flat on the knees, feet flat on the floor, as seen on the statues of ancient Egypt. I am in the dark. Suddenly, a white flame with edges cut like lace and bluish comes into my head. It enters my body, which it circles, wingling in all directions, as if to cleanse me, purify me. It's the first time I felt my body not as a collection of lungs, heart, spleen, liver, gut, but as a big bag containing my consciousness. I twist in every direction, and my mouth is open like I'm screaming, like I'm being tortured. But everything happens in silence, and I twist only for pleasure, to better offer myself to the passage of the flame. The phenomenon lasts an impossible time to evaluate, and when it's over, I am in bliss, amplified by a new feeling. I receive the energy, and I must transmit it to the whole world. Later, I would compare it with the apostle, who received the Holy Spirit, who is represented by a generally white flame, sometimes with bluish edges, and who then felt the need to evangelize the whole world. What then is this energy which resembles in certain aspects what the apostles have received, and which differs so much in the sexual side? At least according to what tradition have given us. I don't know. We call it energy. It feels good, that's all. Not to be confused with the vital energy of other energies that we feel as a lower, more earthly level. Energy gives us the impression of being in direct connection with the divine. The apostles also transmitted it by the hands, which are represented in the oldest Romanesque churches. Since then, the laying on of hands has become a purely symbolic rite, no longer transmitting anything. While I think they were actually transmitting something, this energy, which they called the Holy Spirit, the notion of energy not being known to many. This is probably what gave the martyrs the strength to go and face their torment. Smile on their lips. I also try to lay hands flat on the chest, or on the back, or various parts of the body, contact or distance. At those times, people felt something very intense that made them different from others for at least a few hours. From time to time, when I was alone, I did a little meditation session, sitting cross-legged in the dark in the middle of the living room. That day, immersed in a non-thought, I see a gigantesque snake emerge, opening a mouth bigger than I am, with fangs ready to grab me and engulf me. At the first moment, I feel fear invade me. I am alone. There is no escape. But instead of succumbing to panic, the solution comes to my mind, and I think strongly. I recognize you. I love you. Immediately, the snake disappears, and I feel catapulted towards an ecstatic explosion of light that turns into bliss. I instinctively feel what to do as if I have that knowledge in me, and it reappears at the right time. So, who did I recognize? God, of course. This is what I felt forcefully. Because of the biblical tradition of Genesis, some would say it was the devil. It is only a too childish explanation, too materialistic, too close to the ordinary human. There is another level of understanding that is higher. In my various visions and perceptions, I had learned that there is only one being in the wholly visible and invisible universe, that it was transformed for reasons that appeared to me later, and that I would explain further. We are only parts of Himself. We are not aware of cells in ordinary life, and it is even difficult to admit. In this cosmic game, when the pressure is too strong for us, poor humans, the key word, the liberating thought is love. I love you, thought very deeply and not addressing anyone, particularly, also to God. It is said and repeated in the Christian religion that God is love. It is true. I also realize that